Hi beauty fam, welcome back to MikiCarrBeauty. Today I will be trying out a first impression of shades, not formula, of the new WESTMAN Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick shades. She released 4 new shades and then I picked up 2 of them, Coco and Whiskey, and I will do a try on today and then do comparison swatches. So if that interests you, then keep watching. Remember to subscribe, comment, and like below. Helps me out engagement on my channel. And with that out of the way, beauty fam, let's begin. My favorite contour stick is the Face Trace Contour Stick by WESTMAN Atelier. And I love this so much. It's lasted so long. I actually, for the longest time, my ride or die color has been the shade Truffle. And this is actually the original one that I have. And here it is. It's almost out. And I wish that I had known that they were releasing 4 new shades, because right at the end of the year, WESTMAN Atelier had a sale, which was great. I actually stocked up on my favorite concealer at the moment, which is the WESTMAN Atelier concealer. And then I bought a new one of these in the shade Truffle. Well, lo and behold, at the turn of this year, they released 4 new shades and they've gone deeper, and then they've addressed kind of like cooler olive undertones, and then actually one that's actually for the lighter skin beauties. So actually I'm mistaken, it's actually 5 new shades. So there's 5 new shades, so a total of 7 shades. And the first one is called Olay, a neutral nude latte, and that was criticism because I heard that people wanted a lighter one, so she added that. She added Toast, which is a neutral pecan. Some people felt that maybe they ran a little bit too warm, so that one is more neutral toned. Then she added Coco, a cool mocha. And then the shade Whiskey, which is a neutral rich fudge. And then the deepest shade, she added past Ganache, which is a cool dark chocolate. She went deeper and then added Cola, K-O-L-A, which is a cool rich espresso. And I really appreciated that on her website she actually included pictures, I'll put that here but also put them here, of the type of person that might want to go for each of these shades. So I was really excited to see that. She also included kind of like a swatch of the actual shades, these ones, which I'll put over here so you can see them side by side. Some of them are like, you can see the depth of the color if they run warm or if they run cool or neutral. And then she did swatch comparisons of all of the shades, the new ones included, on 4 different skin tones. So, you know, basically I went and got these pretty much right away because this formula is my favorite formula. It's meant to be effortless, authentic, and definition, shadow mimicking tones, foolproof formula, blends layers seamlessly. I would have to say this is probably my favorite cream contour slash bronzer. I've tried out a lot of different cream bronzers and contours through the years, and this is my favorite one in terms of, you know, I mostly do luxury beauty, but I would say that I've tried quite a bit of cream contours and bronzers, like I'd say Charlotte Tilbury, Chanel, Milk Makeup, and a few others. And I've pretty much like, this is the one I reach for the most. The packaging is pretty standard. It comes in this cute little box, which some of you are already familiar with. Gucci Westman is the makeup artist, and WESTMAN Atelier is her brand. It's really meant to be clean beauty, really simple beauty, elegant packaging but usable, and that's kind of her kind of brand and aesthetic. Consciously crafted beauty, and I believe all of the products are vegan. I've had the shade Truffle for over a year. It started to expire, but moreover I was starting to run out of this. So what we'll do, I'll show you the 2 additional shades that I ended up getting. So initially I was only going to get one, which was Coco. And on her review on her website, Gucci Westman tells a story on her website that she was doing the makeup for the actress Penelope Cruz, who is olive undertone, and she didn't want Gucci Westman to initially do her makeup because she didn't trust anyone necessarily to do her contour. And then Gucci Westman said, well, let me just try. If not, you can just wipe it off and let me know. She did Penelope Cruz's makeup and put on the shade Coco, which is this beautiful kind of neutral leaning formula, and apparently Penelope Cruz loved it. So this is the shade Coco. It is very neutral, kind of mauve leaning actually, and I think this is going to be really good for people who have olive undertones. I would say probably lighter than me is probably best, but we'll see if it looks good on me. So on this side is Truffle, and you can see where this is a lot more warm and deeper, whereas Coco is more neutral. And so when she lines it up of like lightest to deepest, she actually puts Coco as lighter and then Truffle as deeper. Let me grab the third one that I have here for comparison. I also picked up the shade Whiskey. And I picked this up because in the summer I do get deeper, and then Coco, in my opinion, it's more just like what you want. It definitely runs more orangey or warm leaning. So those are the three shades, and Coco is so pretty. I think depending on your skin tone, like I could imagine someone who is lighter than me, this could actually be a really pretty blush shade as well. So why don't I go ahead and swatch these for you. Let's start with Coco first. And I'm gonna do is like a swatch like this, and then kind of diffuse them as well. So you can see how cool leaning that is. The next one is Truffle. I'm so sorry for the swatches. This is at the end of its life here. And here's some natural light I'm catching. Definitely more warm tone. There we go. You can see more brown, yellow in there. And then Whiskey is the last one I have, and that's the deepest out of the three that I have. Really beautiful neutral color. This is actually really pretty color. On me, because I'm already of a warm olive undertone, it almost looks like a mauve color. I like almost think I want to wear that as a lipstick. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm going to do one side of the face one shade and the other side the other shade. Why don't I do this too, so I'm going to just kind of spread the product this way so you can see also how this formula is really, really kind of foolproof. I love that it has a lot of emolliency, or I don't even know if that's a word, but it has some movement on the product. So I never feel like when I layer this product, I never feel like it's going to lift my foundation. And that's probably my biggest gripe about cream bronzers and contours. Like, I've tried so many in, you know, the time that I've been doing this YouTube and content creation, that a lot of times I've found that cream products end up lifting my base, and I don't like that. So here, this is the same products, same shades that I've just dispersed. Again, this is Coco, Truffle, and Whiskey. So I pulled back my hair a bit so we can actually see the product that we're going to test today. And I usually use Truffle, and I love it. It's kind of my ride or die. What I would say about Truffle, which is this medium one in the middle, is that it runs pretty brown. So in some ways, it's not a traditional contour. Contours tend to be more creating shadows and more on the neutral gray side. Because I run so warm already, it kind of works for me. Okay, so we're gonna try the shade Coco. Did two stripes here, and then I'm gonna run it down here because that's actually where I would put the shade. And then sometimes I actually would run it down here. And it's not precise at all. So this is what Coco is looking like. And then let me do this side here as for Whiskey. So Whiskey Side and Coco. I don't have identical brushes to use, but I'm going to do my best. These are kind of really for products that are cream. This is the Smashbox Cream Chic shade. So what I'm going to do is just kind of take this, and I do have foundation down already, but no blush or other bronzer down. I did powder it really lightly, but it's kind of, my oils have come back. Super pretty. Wow, I can see where this cool tone Cocoa looks really nice. So this is Cocoa. Whatever I've left up here. Really beautiful. Again, I would say that if you're lighter than me and don't have a olive undertone, this would be such a pretty cream. This would be such a pretty blush color. Okay, for my nose, I'm going to take a Sony G brush. This is a Worker 2 brush, just because it's a little thinner. I have a little bit more control. It looks really good. Let's go into this side. Whiskey, which is the deeper one, after Truffle. Okay, this is what I'll say about this shade. I think it's meant for someone deeper, so I should have probably gone in a little bit lighter, but this works really lovely still too. I think this will be really lovely, especially when I'm more tan, but it definitely still works. It's what I like about it is that it's this shade here. It's not as orange or warm as Truffle. This is Whiskey. It's definitely more neutral leaning. A different brush for the contour. This is a Refer shade 12. Okay, so this side is Whiskey and this shade is Cocoa. I really like that they both run pretty neutral. They don't really warm up my face. This definitely looks more like soft and natural. This is really, it is probably too deep for what my shade is now, but I think if you're definitely deeper than me, it's a good shade. It's a good shade. Let me just do that again so we can see. Nice. It's a really nice neutral leaning shade. Okay, so I'm grabbing the closest products that I have to these colors, and I grabbed the Victoria Beckham contour stick in Marble. So I'm going to take this shade and kind of just go here and see. Oh wow, that's close to what Whiskey is. I really love this formula too. What I really love about this, it's a similar formula to Westman Atelier. What I love is that it's a smaller stick, so I love traveling with this because it's a little bit less cumbersome and very light. And I love using this because it's narrower. I actually use this more for like details on contouring around my nose. And I've actually used this on for my lips, like making my lips bigger as well, because overlining is in, as we know. There we go. So I love this in a pinch. Such a great product. So if you have Marble, it's very, very close to the shade Whiskey, if not a little deeper. Okay. Recently, I also picked up the Salt Release. They, I can't remember what creator it is that did this, but she released and curated these kind of like really neutral shades. And I think I got the one medium. And we'll swatch these. And those are the shades. They're very forgiving. And those are the shades from the medium palette. I would say they're very close to the Coco shade. They're actually not as neutral leaning as this. This is almost like looks pink on me, but those are really nice shades to me. You know, I was really excited about the colors. I just realized for me, I'm not a person that uses these kind of palettes very much. Like if it's in here and I don't have a tool, like for me, this is easy because it's in a tool already, as well as the Victoria Beckham. It's already in a self-contained tool. For this, I have to like think twice about getting a tool like a brush to use. The second thing I would say is that this is the formula on this. It is nice. I do prefer the pigmentation of the Westman Atelier and the Victoria Beckham more. These are very light. They kind of almost disappear on me. So you can see it was like as I'm blending it out, it's very, very, it like almost disappears. So I started to lose pigmentation on this. Even if I put it on my face, like the pigment would disappear. But I've actually tried these on my lips and they are quite nice as well. On top with this one is Truffle, which I can put up here. And what I would say this is nice for is that it works really well as almost like a bronzer brush. So I'm just grabbing a smaller brush. This is like, not necessarily a face brush, but this is like a small brush from Sony G. It just warms up my face. So almost using it almost like as a cream bronzer. And if you were to ask me like first impressions, which one do I like best? It's really hard for me to tell you which one because I almost feel like this Coco shade here, it's nice as a contour stick, but it's almost like getting into contour blush territory. Like with this side, I don't even feel like I need to put blush on. It almost feels like it's almost like a 2-in-1, whereas this definitely feels more like a traditional contour, the whiskey side. You let me know what you think. Lovely. I really like that I got both of these. I mean, I wasn't going to get the whiskey, but last minute I decided because I remembered that when I get to my into summer shade, which lasts around like 3 to 4 months, it's really hard for me to use the shade Truffle because it just disappears on my skin tone. And I'm like, let me get a shade that's deeper that will, you know, like will show up in the summer. In the summer, what I've been doing instead of Truffle, I've been actually using the Makeup by Mario Skin Sculpt, and I actually threw it away because it was like a 1-year shelf life and it was getting kind of not so great in the pan. If I'm reading this correctly on the box, I think it says 18-month shelf life. So what I noticed about this, I had this well over a year, my original Truffle, and it actually lasted really, really a long time. It hasn't gone off, and even though it's clean beauty, what I like about it is that it's clean beauty. Sometimes with clean beauty, like the products can go off really quickly because there's less preservatives. Well, this is clean beauty and it lasts, like, I think it's just a really lovely formula. For me, it's foolproof. It has enough glide that it moves the product very easily. It doesn't move any product under my skin, meaning like it doesn't move my foundation or layers of bases. And moreover, it doesn't disappear. Where I found with this Salt New York, although these colors are so gorgeous, I found that the colors would just really disappear. So in a way, these are not pigmented enough for me. So if you're curious, I just never did a review on these. I haven't been reaching for it just because, yeah, I used it a couple times and it just really just disappeared off my face. And sometimes that happens with products with me because, again, this is why I started my channel. Like my undertone and my skin color, like sometimes it can be really hard to match. Like these look really pretty in the pan, and based on the shade or the formula, I don't know if it's going to be pigmented enough or if my skin tone's going to like eat up the color and just disappear off my face. It's not that I don't like it, I just don't know if it's really meant for me, who's like pretty, like I don't think I'm super melanated, but I'm just curious. I haven't seen anyone else's review of this product that happens to be like my skin tone. Like I just found that the products really disappeared. I tried, I wanted to support a small business or a smaller creator and the business. I'm glad I tried it, but it's kind of been sitting here because it's just probably just not a product for me. I would stand by, like, if you were to ask me would I buy these again, I would hands down definitely buy the WESTMAN Atelier. In fact, I have a new Truffle, which I'm probably going to then just kind of chuck the Truffle at this point because it's already down to the nib. And yeah, I just really think these are a great product. Like I think if you're starting to dabble into makeup and you're like, I don't know anything about cream contours or bronzers, definitely give WESTMAN Atelier a try. It is on the steeper and it is luxury beauty. What you could do is also wait for a sale. I almost think I don't like it as a contour. I think I almost like it as a natural looking blush, which is, I do have at least one WESTMAN Atelier blush. Why don't I just show that to you so you can see kind of the products as they layer. And again, this formula is so nice. Like sometimes I don't even have to use tools. I can just use my fingers and that's enough. That's what the beauty is about this product and this line. It's like you don't have to be a makeup aficionado to enjoy like a really simple, beautiful, basic look. There, see, I don't even use any tools. I just moved the edges around and it stays. This is the shade Chouchette. This is a WESTMAN Atelier blush. Okay, let me know what side do you like better, the cocoa side or the whiskey side? Okay, that's it, beauty fam. Just a really quick first impressions. I love WESTMAN Atelier bronzers, the contour sticks. I call them bronzer sticks, but they're really the contour sticks. And been really enjoying their products as of late. Remember to give me a like, comment, and subscribe below. As always, please be very kind with yourself and others and just be you. Until the next video, beauty fam, take good care. Bye.